argument, I'm going to argue that technology makes us more creative as a society. So all 4 of these pieces were created digitally using technology. So all 4 of these in particular were created with the app called Procreate, which is an app that can be used either on a computer or on a tablet using a stylus, so like an iPad and Apple Pencil. And all 4 of these were created using that software. And they were shared on the Procreate Folio, which is a platform where you can share your digital artwork. So yes, I picked this argument because I saw the opposite, that technology makes us less creative, and I didn't think that that was true. And one of the reasons why was because of artworks like these that are created using technology. So I wanted to start by showing off some of these because I thought that they were really cool. So yeah. So how technology makes us more creative, these are my main points that I'm going to be addressing in more depth in a minute. But essentially, technology gives us more accessibility. It expands the tools and types of media that we can use to be creative, and it gives us more options for how tasks are completed. So in regards to accessibility, when there's new technology, people have more ways to express creativity. So they have more access to more types of media, so digital media, apps, etc. So like the Procreate app that I mentioned earlier, and I'll mention some more in a second. But yeah, you just have access to a lot more tools through the creation of new technology. And then another way that technology expands creativity is through the breaking down of barriers. So I like this quote from a Forbes article that I read. And it says that the sum total of human knowledge is merely a few clicks away. Domains are no longer hidden behind barriers of circumstance or tradition, but are accessible to anyone with a search engine. So essentially, like, anyone can become an artist, anyone can become a writer, a poet, anything like that, because you don't have to publish your work in like a book to share your work, or you don't have to share your artwork in a museum to become an artist. But instead you can share it online, and you can create it online. So through the expansion of tools, we are more creative with technology. So for example, a tablet with an adaptive stylus, like an iPad and an Apple Pencil, and like those kind of physical technology things, but also through apps and things like that. So Procreate is one I've mentioned several times, and also through Adobe apps. I was also thinking about like Google apps, like Google Docs and Google Slides, through Canva, which is how I made this presentation. And then another physical device that I thought of was 3D printers. So all of these things give us a wider range of how to be creative. So like we can 3D print stuff now, which is really cool, and years ago we weren't able to do that. So as we're able to do those things, I think it makes us more creative. And then I did want to tie it back a little bit to educational tasks and things like that. So technology gives us more options for how we complete educational tasks and also tasks that aren't necessarily educational. So think about like during this pandemic, we've had to become more creative with how assignments get completed, and without technology that would have been impossible. So if we didn't have Zoom, we wouldn't have been able to talk with each other in classes and things like that. And if we didn't have like Canvas and Carmen to like turn stuff in on, without that technology, we would have probably been a little bit lost. But I found this article from Bentley University, and it kind of explains the relationship between technology and creativity through a few points. So the first is that technology allows many people to contribute at once. So it's not just like a one-person thing at a time where someone publishes something and then someone reacts to that and changes it over time, and it takes forever. It allows a lot of people to contribute to one thing. Additionally, people can be anonymous, so it can allow them to share more openly. So, for example, if you write like a poem, but you don't want to publish it in a book, for example, because that would make you identifiable, you can publish it anonymously online and still be able to share your creative thought without necessarily identifying yourself. And the speed is improved for how we complete tasks, and that just allows things to be shared, critiqued, and improved at a lightning fast pace. So for example, what I was thinking of with this one was like Google Docs. You can like simultaneously edit a document at the same time as someone else, which I think is just really cool. And yeah, that didn't used to be a possibility with regular Word docs, for example. So as far as counter argument goes, I kind of touched on this already, that some people believe the opposite, that technology makes us less creative because we have to do less. But I think that technology makes us creative in kind of a different way. So, for example, instead of having to navigate publishing companies or art museums, you have to learn how to navigate digital sharing sites like the Procreate Folio or like something like Etsy or something like that. And then as far as traditional forms of artwork, I definitely think that traditional forms of artwork still hold value and still allow you to be creative. Certainly, like making a sculpture would not be the same on a digital media as it would in real life. But I think that technology allows us to share that traditional artwork, even beyond the scope of what we would be able to share it without technology. So you can sell things on Etsy, or you can scan your artwork and make it into like bags and t-shirts and stickers and things like that, like using like Redbubble. So I think that traditional forms of artwork still hold value and still are important. But you can share them in different ways using technology, making your creativity more able to be shared and accessible. So yes, in conclusion, technology makes us more creative through giving us more options for doing creative work. It makes becoming an artist more accessible, and it gives us more options for how we complete tasks, both educationally and otherwise. I would challenge you guys to try to incorporate technology and creative forms of using technology into your classrooms, because I think that it's fun, and I think that it, yeah, like I said, it just improves accessibility for a lot of people. Here are the sources that I used. The middle ones are the articles that I used, and then the ones on the blue background are the paintings that I used. Thank you.